Ah, you're here. Nice. Come on. So how have you been? How was your day? Good. Come on, sit. Don't like my mess. Just push the whips aside. Sit. So, how you been? How was your day? Do you want a coffee? I think I'm gonna make another coffee. Do you want the raccoon or the cat? Sorry about the mess. Sorry about all the whips. I need to sort them out. Get some off my desk. Do you mind if we talk about it? Can I show them to you? Yeah. So, I'm not entirely sure where to start. There's just too many on my desk at the moment, and I need to figure out which ones go into the wood pile where they probably going to die, but that's okay. It's okay. Let's maybe start with the obvious ones that are gonna go out of the rotation, because I have too many, and go into the wood pile, and then we'll talk about my current work in progress. I also want to show you a swatch I made, because I bought some yarn I will plan, but I'll show you that later. First, the wood pile. See, there's just too much going on here. I have no space. I need to get some out of here. It's feeling pretty cramped. And then they go into the wood pile. Don't mind it. That's because the plant was inside, because it was too hot and I didn't want it to burn outside. So there's the wood pile. Some will come out again, like the wavy one there. Like that's, I haven't abandoned it. It's just sleeping. Don't worry, he's not dead. He's just sleeping. But yeah, where do we start? So maybe let's start with this one. So that was basically just a vibes cast on, because between all the heat waves, it was getting really cold in between, and I was craving cables between all the fine and lacy summer knits. I was like, I want thick yarn, I want thick needles, I want cables, so I just cast on this one. But yeah, it's cute. It's just like there are some cable don't align perfectly. If you can see what I mean. Yeah, they look like kind of mismatchy. If I hold it back, you can't really see it, but I know. And I've also seen on some Ravelry posts, they also noticed, so it's not just me. It's not me, it's the pattern. So I'm not sure how much I like how this looks. Like it's not super defined. All over it's cute. I'm just not 100% sure. I'm not sure if the ribbing, I think the ribbing was like this. I don't think I did something special. But it's cute, right? It's just like, is it cute enough? Also, it's a lot. It's a lot of cables, but it was what I was craving. So I think I'm not gonna take it off the needle right now. I also just cast it on some like acrylic wool. So it's not like it's a big planned project. It's just, yeah, vibes. It was too hot, and then when it was cold, I was like, I really want cozy, so cables are cozy, so that's the vibe. But it's cute. It's just, yeah, it filled the purpose, the craving I had at the moment, but I'm not sure it's gonna be finished at any point. But I'm not gonna fully like take it off yet. Maybe I'm gonna come back to it. So let's maybe put some needle stoppers on it. What do I have? Just like maybe the penguin shell. Spooky. Oh, I just need one. This is a little big for it, but we'll be fine. So that's gonna go out. And one day I'll show you all my whips. I mean, they're not... Are they work in progress? I'm not sure if they really are in progress. They're just like cast on to fill the... I'm a process knitter. So yeah, it's what I wanted to process at the moment, or at that moment, and yeah. So yeah. What else is surely going out? Let's see. Oh, I think this one is, I clearly took it off the needle. This one belongs to that one. Let me show you. Okay, so that's my notes for it. It's a cardigan I made. I used a vintage pattern from Subversive Femme. I did a provisionally cast on because I didn't know. Yeah, I wanted the ribbing to be for later. It was because I didn't want to do the ribbing. I just wanted to do the fun part, and I can do it later and then determine the length better since it's a bottom up. So it's a cardigan. Oh, yeah, it's knitted flat and in pieces. See, I got the two fronts. It is for like bigger sizes. She's doing like Curvy Month, where she gives free patterns. It's a little hard to show, but it's like a V-neck. There will also be still a button band to do later, and it's like scalloped or something, so that's also really cool. So it is really cute. Look. With the lacy and the cable. I really like it, like the fronts. But it is really oversized. It has like increases first, and then it has short rows for the boobs. Since it is for bigger size, I just did them because it's in the pattern, but I really don't need it. But you can kind of see where it falls. Like where there's a pocket for the boob that I don't have. But it is really big, and you still have the button band, so yeah. But I wanted an oversized cardigan to just like be flowy and like swim in it. So I knitted the size in the pattern. I think I used like a smaller needle, so a smaller gauge. That is all. The thing is, I cast on the back because I was like, okay, the next fun part is the button band with the scallops, which looks really cute. So I need to do the back piece to sew shoulders together to do the whole button band. And I started it, and it's just huge. It is too much. Like, even if I want oversized, it is too much. It's too much. And you do increases at, yeah, you're still adding, you're still increasing. So it's just too much. And it's stockinette stitch, which is fine, although it's not fine. I'm not fine with stockinette stitch. It's so boring. It felt like a task, a chore. So I was like, this is how far I came, until I realized like that's not gonna happen. I'm not gonna do that. I can't. I just can't. I can't do this with increases at least this long in stockinette stitch on, oh yeah, I did it. It's on 3 millimeters. So that's just, nah. I did some calculations or stuff on my notes to maybe incorporate the nice lacy thing and a cable in the back to maybe have in the middle. I mean, it probably will not align, but it will be fine, right? Because like if it's stuck on that stitch, it's not aligning anyway with anything. So, but maybe I'll do that. But yeah, I wanted to cast on something else on the 3mm needles, so I just ripped them out. Oh, this is also, it's polyester. It is pretty fine and it looks cute. And I think for like a cardigan that is oversized and flowy, that's fine. So I need to figure out what to do with the bag, then make the bag. Then I can do the button band, and then I need to do sleeves, which are also stockinette stitch, so I probably will also mess with them to be able to do them. Or it's just a really oversized vest. Maybe it's just gonna be a vest. And then whatever, how much yarn I have over will be for the ribbing. Yeah. I have 2 of these. They are like 680 meters. I have 2 of these, and I have, I don't know if you can see, I have also a blue one and a green one and a lighter pink one, but that's over here in another project. So for now, it's gonna go into the pile to figure out, because I have to do some math and blah 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 and blah, blah, blah. And I don't know. Also, it's still too hot outside to mess with this at the moment. It will be see you later. Maybe it's just like I had the fun I wanted to have with it. So thanks for having me. Goodbye. Maybe. We'll see. It's gonna go into the pile. Next. Oh yeah, I think we're gonna take it's the same yarn, just a different color. So let's talk about that one. So that one I really like. I don't really want to put it in timeout. It's also on 3mm. See, it's the same yarn, just lighter. It has this, I'll put it in the coffee. It has these blues that, like, it's pretty unicorn, you know? And it's so pretty. Look at it. It's a pattern I've been obsessed with for ages. It's a vintage pattern. It's called Spider Lace. And so far I think I did like swatches in 3 different yarns for it. And it's an intense pattern to knit. Like, it's not really complicated. You do like double stitches and then like purl too many stitches together and stuff. Or you do like knit, purl, knit, purl, knit, purl into the same stitch. Like, it's a lot. But it's just the coolest thing. Like, these spiders. That are formed, and it's so fluffy. And it's like, it is so chaotic and messy, but also not. The other swatch I made for this pattern was a cotton mix, and that was really a bad decision since it doesn't have enough stretch. And this one does, and it's way easier to do. And it's so bouncy and fluffy because of the texture. It's also like very, I don't know, teddy. And with the weird lace pattern combined with like the unicorn color, it's giving pastel goth to me. Also, like where it wants to flip over, it looks like little flowers on the back side. Love that. So this, I think it's the sleeve. See, I haven't picked it up for a little bit. Yeah, I think it's the sleeve, which is super nice to try on if you have it on a straight needle. But look at like the chaotic lace. It's giving goth, but with the unicorn color, it's giving pastel goth. So I only have one ball of this. So my idea was, it is like the pattern is a full sweater, and it also has like a nice collar detail with crochet, I think. So my idea was, I'll do both sleeves and then as much of the body like kind of top down as I can, so I get the cute colors. So it's kind of like a bolero situation, like a shrug. So it's really giving 2000s goth to have like a lacy shrug, but we're making it in pastel colors this time. It would also look great in black and really be like coffee. It's also like the cast on, it's a little wavy. I really should stop saying like, but yeah, I really like this one, but it is too hot, like, so it's not the one I'm reaching for at the moment, because it's like, it's really fluffy and soft, and it will be great in winter and autumn to have. But during a heat wave, to knit, not the one I'm reaching for. So I was super excited when I cast it on and when I like saw how good it develops and stuff. So I need to get that initial excitement back. So I think I'm gonna keep it out here. I think I want to keep the rest out here, but let's talk about them anyway. Like maybe I'm just gonna put it over there. Like not in the, and I keep it in eyesight. So I don't forget about it, because these are out of sight, out of mind. So I keep it out there with my yarn, so I see it. Let's put the other here. Spooky. Yeah, so I maybe put it over there, so I know when it cools down a little bit, it's easier to pick it up again than in a heat wave. Sounds like a plan, right? Let's do that. But where? I'm also glad I organized this so it doesn't look cluttered, and now I'm putting more clutter over there, but you know. Next. Oh, yeah, right. Next, let's take this one. And this one is just for cabling. So next, let's talk about this one. I think it's a similar situation than the one before. I think this one is a similar situation than the one before, that it will end up there. I was like, what's the black poking out there? But it's just a bobby pin I put in there to hold the yarn. So that's something else. It's not the notes. Yeah, the notes. I was like, why do I have like 2 papers full of notes? This one I needed to do a lot of figuring out. It is basically kinda, but also kinda not, the Carrie sweater by Colibri by Johanna. I need to pay attention to the yarn bubbles that comes out. Like hers is decay, mine is not. Mine is fingering weight. It's a cotton mix, a cotton blend. And you have these really cool cables that are not fully attached, or like the sides are separate, but then you cable them together, which is really, really cool. Hers is reversible, so you only have the cables on one side, so either the front or the back, depending on how you want to do it. I have both front and back, and I also put them under the arms. So yeah, I went a little extra with it. But you knit basically, you knit one side, then the other side. Then you do the cable over, and then you knit them separately again, and then you twist them over again, then you knit separately again, twist them over. But now that I'm in the round, So I'm knitting 4 pieces separately and then twisting them here, here, and on the sides. So it's a little much, but also not, because you do it once and then for the next, I think I have 10 rows in between with my fingering weight. There's a color difference. Mine still is reversible because I lowered the neckline on, which probably will be the front piece. But if I want to, I could reverse it and have like a higher neck. But it is cute. Like, I think she did I-cord edges, but I just folded over the edges and crocheted around it to pin it down. I think I went a little close on the neckline, so it wants to flip a little bit. But I think I can block that out, right? And if not, like when I'm wearing it, it's stretching anyways, so it should lie flat enough. For the armholes, I did the same thing, just like a folded hem kind of situation, and it looks really nice. And it uses way less yarn than the I-cord. I tried the I-cord, but I undid it. But yeah, so far it is pretty short. In the pink with all the 4, I want to say lace, but it's not really lace, holy parts. It's giving rave. It's giving techno rave. My first try on it was just like showing a little under boob. It was really giving rave. So if you're going to raves, I think that's a great pattern to you know, rave it out in bright pink. I'm using some cotton mix. I'm using 3mm. I'm doing them on DPNs because I was running out of needles. But she's slipping a lot of stitches in her pattern, and I thought it would be easier in the PNs to just, you know, to avoid the slipping. But I'm not doing the slipping. I just use one of the threads and just do it. So that's fine. But I'm running out of yarn for some sections. I still have one more that I can attach, one little ball. But I'm running out. So it is on break because, let me show you. Because it's actually this variegated yarn. It's a cotton acrylic mix. It really feels very cottony, like it's 50-50. So you do not, it gives some softness to acrylic, but it's not, it doesn't feel plasticky or sweaty when I tried it on. So yeah, I like them. But yeah, it is variegated yarn. And I bought 5. When I bought them, I didn't plan to cut them apart, but I did. Yeah, I didn't plan at the beginning to cut them, and I have I'll show you. I have in my whip pile another one of the already floppy yarns here, but I have I started a moby sweater with the yarn, and it is fine because at the beginning I wasn't sure what I wanted to do with it, and it is fine. It's giving a little bit weird screen distortion with the stripes. I liked it enough. With the moby sweater, I'm always at this point where I join for the sleeves where I run out of stamina and interest. I have another moby sweater. I really like how it looks, but and I'm holding it triple here. One of the yarn, the first cake I used, the yarn, the colors are different, darker. So the first back side, I don't know if you can see, like this is the lightest color, but on the first yarn ball, this is the lightest color. Like this is way more almost, not white, but you know, but this is lighter and brighter than this one. So I hope it was just that one yarn ball, because yeah, during the second one and realized they don't color match, I was like, oh, that's great, love that. But yeah, this is part of a Moby sweater, I guess, which now that I see it, I do kind of like it, but I probably will need the yarn. I have one more that I haven't cut yet, so I'll see. Maybe it's just gonna be like the shortest bolero ever. It's really weighted with the yarn held triple, which I don't mind. I do like the portable weighted blanket, cardigan or pullover vibe, so that's cool. But it is it is a workout to knit, with all the stitches and the triple thread and the weight. It feels like a workout to knit it, which doesn't make it flowy. And that's the darkest color. But here, this is the darkest color. No, here, after the pink. See like how much darker this one is than this stripe? Not cool, but okay. But yeah, do you like it? I'm not sure. This one will probably die. Maybe. Probably. So I feel like I can make a prettier Moby sweater without the weird stripe effect. I don't know. But I wanted to talk about the stuff I'm actually making at the moment, not the stuff that's already on timeout. So yeah, I have one more that I can cut. And so far, this one, like the carrie cardigan thing, it's so far, this is from 2 balls. So maybe one more. My waist is here. It would still be short, still be cropped. Maybe I get until here with one more, but 2 more would be nicer. So we'll see. But I am not mentally there yet to cut the last one. I still want to have it intact somehow. Not sure really why, but it is like, I don't know. I'm not mentally there yet to cut it, to destroy the last intact one. I don't know. Some sort of mental blockage going there. To not ready to part with it yet fully. Because I have other stuff to knit. I don't need, I don't need to, but I will finish it. I also did this basically monogamous when I did it, so it's okay to have a break. But it was fun to knit, and I really plan to finish it. I swear I plan to finish it. It's not going on the wood pile of doom. I think it's going on the see you later, hopefully. I'll keep you in mind, hopefully. So yeah, let me put it there. Let me just think. There was something over there that does not belong there. I just don't know where to put it, because it is self-drafted, self-designed. I don't know. Oh my god. It isn't super intarsia thing. I wanted to try out like an 80s sweater with all the geometric shapes, and I made some sketches to let me show you the sketches. So like I really drew it out. We have like the smaller versions, so I could like mock up how I wanted to continue. So this is like the construction is inspired from like the Moby sweater, where you cast on and then you do short rows. So yeah, these are a lot of tiny squares where I just pixelated, and they are like up to scale. I think I did it up to scale so I could really see how it would look. So they are not perfect squares, they're up to scale. Did I went a little overboard? Maybe, but it's fun. And then here is how we're continuing it. So yeah, but it is really cool, right? So that's the sketches. And that's what I made with it so far. I mean, we're not fully through the second sketch yet, but that's the same pink I used for the cardigan where I only have the 2 fronts, and the light pink is the one that ended up over there with the spider lace pattern, the unicorn pastel goth lacy thing. But yeah, look at it. But it has so it is a mess. It's just too much. It's just too much. Like, the idea is great and I like how it looks, but the execution is just but like, I can just make it a wall decoration where all the little bobbies hang off. Maybe I'll do that. Maybe I'll just hang it on the wall, like block what I have and hang it on the wall, and it's just like a fringe with all the bobbins coming off. But it is cool, right? But I don't like, it's not gonna happen. Like a full cardigan oversized, it's not gonna happen. I need to keep it a little simpler than all this, maybe. But what I think I'm just gonna put it back. I wanted to put it into the wood pile to dye, but it is pretty, like it is. With the sketch I made, you know, I put an effort and it's an artwork in itself, so I don't want to like be ungrateful. Like, I don't want to put it in there. Yeah, it was nice, bye-bye. So yeah, I need to figure out what to do with it. But at least I bunched it together, so it's taking up less space now. Next, I'm just gonna grab what's in front of me now, I think. Next, I have this airy number. This is the front. I think I have the back already done. Let me show you that one. That's the back piece. It's not blocked, but it even says on the pattern it looks better if you don't iron it. It's a vintage pattern. But yeah, look how lacy and frilly. Look, it's so airy. But yeah, it's the second one I'm making. I already made it once in a fingering weight. This is holst coast. It's 50% or 45% cotton. So, and it's thinner. It's almost a lace weight. They call it a light fingering, but basically it's a lace weight. You knit it side to side. So you cast on here and then you increase for the armholes and then you increase for the short rows of the shoulder. Then you decrease again for the neckline. Then you do the lace and then you mirror the same. So I feel like knitting side to side instead of top down or bottom up, it feels faster because you're knitting 4 rows and then you're already like hitting the armhole milestone. So because we're used to knitting top down or bottom up and the armhole milestone is like halfway through, it feels so rewarding to like, that's giving you a dopamine hit after 4 rows. Armhole already, yeah. So yeah. And something is happening all the time. Like, you're having armhole, then shoulder, then neckline, shoulder, armhole, and done, boom. The only sluggy moment is when you do the shoulder, which is really not a lot. Like, compared to top down or bottom up, where you're doing all the body slug, which is like, what, at least double this. Like, this is going fast. This is the back, so the front is a little lower. It's also pretty oversized. I haven't picked it up for a few days on the front part. I think I'm in the shoulder slug moment at the moment. And it's just the first one. The second one went really fast because you're almost done. So it's like only this, when you start here, only this is a drag, which is like what is, of course, because you're knitting sideways. You knit the back and front, and then you have like short sleeves where you're doing the same thing, like knitting sideways with this. I haven't showed you. So it is stockinette stitch. Oh, it's really hard to show. See, it is stockinette stitch, but every third row is knit 1, purl 1. So you have this very broken rib. Like with broken rib, I think you're doing every second row, but this one is every third row. And it is really nice. It looks really nice. Also like how the back side looks. Very airy and flowy. So I'm planning to seam it together in a way, need to figure out how. So the seams lie flat, so I can wear it both sides, also inside out. I had to like piece together for the back, for the front. I have one big yarn ball because I unraveled something else to do this. So yeah, nobody's safe here on the web pile. I think it's a perfect summer thing. I'm not sure if I'm gonna finish it before summer ends. This is the back, then you do the front, basically the same, but the neckline is a little lower. Then you do short sleeves in the same way, sideways with the broken rib thing. And then you have like a bubble, like a puff sleeve, but it's just around the elbow, and it's just hilarious in my mind. Like I just love it. And then you pick up around the bottom edge and do ribbing. It's also, the ribbing is a little bit extra. Let me show you the other one I already made. So this is the one I already made. This is true fingering weight. The holst is almost lace weight. So it is way more airy and see-through, which is great for summer. I think the true fingering weight one is more like an autumn thing. That's why I'm also not gonna try it on now. And I used some yarn that had some variegation in it, so the stitch pattern is not as visible, not as clear. Also because it was the first time I did it, and vintage patterns are not super deep explanations. 3 sentences and you're done. So the every third row rib purl does not always align when I'm doing the increases at the beginning, but it's fine. Like the yarn color hides it, and it's not a big deal. But yeah, the lace pattern, and it's such a nice fit. I wouldn't have dreamed that it would, like, it's very comfortable. It's a very nice fit. The little short rows on the shoulders, the back sits higher than the front. The neckline is so comfortable. I really like it. It's very comfortable. Yeah. So you have the little, let me show you like this. It is too warm. So you have the little short sleeves, and then you have this weird bubble thingy that's basically around your elbow. It is mainly stockinette stitch, but you have some garter stitch ridges, which it looks very nice. And then for the bottom ribbing, you do ribbing like you usually do, but like a little wider, but it also has the garter stitch rows on it. It's very hard to show with the variegated yarns. See? So you have the ribbing, and then you have a few garter stitch rows on it. So it also makes it very interesting. I needed to piece some yarn together because it was just like a test of this vintage pattern to see like, what are we doing here? Why are we doing this? What's going on? What do you mean with the bubble? It was just experimentation. I just wanted to try it out and see what will come out. I did not expect it to be so comfortable and to like it so much and to want to try it again. I thought like it's a fun knit, but like it's not gonna be a wearable thing. But it is. Like, I mean, the bubble is weird, but still, like, it's so comfortable. Like, who gives? But yeah, so it is pieced together. So the front and the back, the brown are different dye lots. I'm not sure if you can see, but I can. So one is a little cooler and one is a little warmer. I think the front is a little cooler, which I would have preferred the front to be warmer if, you know, I have the choice, but I did not realize. And then I used some red. It's the same yarn. I think it's a cotton acrylic mix, but it feels very woolly. Like it wasn't knitting cotton yarn knitting experience. For more like knitting wool, and it has the fluff, and it's very comfortable. So yeah, it's not giving plastic because of the cotton. So yeah, that's that. I digress again. Let me put it away again. I think I just used some sheepshears yarn for that I had from a blanket knitting kit, like as if I would knit a blanket. But yeah, so I had it lying around, so I used that to test it out. And now I'm doing the same one again. It's a pattern from 1934, so it is pretty vintagey. But yeah, I'm using the same needle sizes as for the other one, but this one is basically lace, so it's way more airy and nice. But I need to finish it. But I have other stuff at the moment that is exciting me, so it is on break, or not officially. It's in a rotation. It's not on break. It's fine. I'm still hopeful I will wear it this summer. Maybe a little delusional, but yeah. So it's gonna stay here. Will I put it there or will I leave it here? I think I'm gonna leave it here, because if I put it there, it's officially on. Yes. I hope I'll come back to you. But I really hope I come back to this. So I'm going to be hopeful and just leave it here for now. And then, ooh, yeah, right. The pink one, the carrie sweater with the open cables. As I told you, it's a variegated yarn that I cut apart to get the pink out of. I cut all the colors apart. So from the darkest one, oh, let me show you all the swatches. So I cut all the colors apart. For the true pink one, I was like, yeah, for sure, carrie sweater. I know it's gonna. Okay, so sorry for the break. My phone ran out of storage, so that's great. But we're almost there. Sure, we get comfortable again. So I told you about the pink yarn that has all the different pinks, where I cut out for the carrie sweater with the holes. First, I only cut out the bright pink to do that one, but then I cut them all into all the different colors, because I showed you the moby. It's fine. It's yes, but I could have like one sleeveless top in every different color. So instead of one weighted blanket sweater, which is great, don't get me wrong, would be great, but instead of one weighted blanket sweater, I could have 5, I think it's 5 summer tops, sleeveless summer tops. So I think, I'm fine with the moby sweater, but it's not, could be better. I don't know. So I made swatches for all the different colors. So this one is the darkest pink. It's a nice lace stitch with a broken rib, but usually if we do broken rib like on modern, most of them are vintage patterns again, because I love that. But most of the time, broken rib now in modern patterns is like knits. It's like a stockinette with knit one, purl one, but the in-between's the knot, the breaking of it. Or words. Let's try again. So most of modern patterns do broken rib with just knit stitches and the rib. But this one is purl stitches and the rib. So it feels more like broken seed stitch or moss stitch and not like broken rib. Can you focus, please? With this lacy diamonds, and I really like it. I think I really liked it. It's a big swatch, yeah. But sometimes I swatch in the way of, if I like it, it's already part of the garments, because these are still live stitches. And also it's a provisionary cast on, so everything is still super adaptable. But it is pretty, right? I really like it. I really thought we would go for that, but then, like, I love doing plans, and then I don't do whatever I want anyways. So this is the darkest. Then one shade lighter, we have, what's the front and what's the back here? They're both very pretty. I think that's the front. You have basically ribbing and then a lacy panel in between. I think it's, for the pattern, it's just, this is the front. I think you have 2 or 3 of the lace thingies, and then you have stockinette for the rest of the side, so it's just a panel of the lace. But I think if I would do it, I would do it fully like a rib top with these lace in between. I think that's more modern than just the lace panel, and the rest is stockinette. Also the back would be like a wider rib and still in pearl. The lace still looks very nice. The only difference is that on this side the lace panel comes out, and on the back side it's more in. But if I would do it, I probably would try to sew it together, the side seams, in a way that it's reversible, so I can have the smaller rib or the bigger rib, depending on the mood. But I also really like that one. Then one lighter, we have this beauty. This is I think a modern pattern, but a free pattern. It's really nice. I tried some differences, how the lace is done here, just to fuck around and find out, because I thought it was kind of genitally. Honestly, it looks very nice. I think it's a top down, so it would be this way, upside down, basically. It's very nice. And then the lightest is, I think it's a vintage pattern, but I just saw a photo on Instagram and I tried to reverse engineer it. I do like the lacy panels together with the rib. It's giving 2000s fake corset top. When I was 15 or 16, I had this fake corset tops from like very 2006 version of fast fashion. So it was, yeah, you know, in this fake satin silky fabric, and it has like a lace made up in front or the back or both, which did nothing for the lace. It was just to look good. Yeah. But this reminds me of that, especially if it goes up. So I think I could make my teenage edgelord goth self very happy to do something like this. Not necessarily in this yarn, because I planned them out, and then there was the next heat wave and I got overstimulated, and I just needed to cast on something to like calm myself, ground myself. So yeah. I love to plan, and then I just go rogue. I also have this one to see, like, maybe I do a variegated, because I do like the variegation of the yarn. It was just a super bright pink one that stood out of it and kind of destroyed the ombre effect of it. So I tried how it would look, and it is nice. And I think you could do like a cute 2000 bolero in these colors. Like, I think it could really give the vibes of that. It's also kind of giving grandma or like auntie who got told by the salesperson that pink make her look really young and flippy, you know, something like that. Who would say no, please don't. But it actually makes her look older, because it's kind of like, yeah, you know. But yeah, I do kind of like this pattern as well. It is like again, a super weird and kind of too much. A lot is going on here with the stitch that's like cinching it together, and you have to leave and the lace in between. So a lot is going on in this pattern. It's again a vintage pattern, but I kind of like it. So these were the plans I made for them. I also made a sketch, or started to make a sketch for all of this. Let me show you, because I really liked it and I was really in a lace exploring phase, and I really had it all planned out in my mind that this is what I want to do. So I started to make like a poster infographic where I drew the yarn, how it was at the beginning, and then like in pieces and which needle size I used. Don't mind the writing. It's an old German Middle Ages writing style that I just like the look of. So the darkest color that I showed you, I also drew the lace pattern, which takes a lot. I also drew the back side because I also like how the back side looks with everything. So I plan to do that for all the lace swatches, so I could have like on my wall a huge infographic with obsessed with lace stuff. But it's a lot of work, and I ran out of steam a little bit, so I'm not sure that's gonna happen, but I mean, it was fun and it still looks cool. So yeah, these are all the swatches. Let's put them away again, because I actually, with the darkest color, I cast on this one. Again, it's I cast on the stitches for the back, and then I can see how much more I would need. And I think I just would need like a little bit more, like another lace insert, maybe a few edge stitches, and it looks really cool and nice. It's a frost flower pattern together with moss stitch or seed stitch. I do not see the frost flower. I see some sort of eldritch god emerging from the sea, but that's okay. Still cool. Very cool. I just wanted moss stitch, basically. That's what drew me to it. I mean, the lace pattern is cool to explore, to see what's gonna happen, and it looks very intense, kind of like it's a lot going on here. But sometimes I really just like moss stitch. It's very calming for me to see, weirdly. It's just, I don't know, it scratches part of my soul in a nice way. But it's been lying here for, I don't know, a little bit now. I think it scratched the itch that needed to be scratched. Okay. At that moment, and I might continue it, I might not continue it, but that's, yeah. I think it's on 2.75, so it's also like a lot. So I think it's gonna go over there in the keep it in mind, keep it in eyesight pile, but not necessarily in the we are working on this actively at the moment. So some waste yarn fell out of it, so that's interesting. Then for the lightest, this was the darkest, this is the lightest of these colors, which is just so, like, it's not necessarily my color. It doesn't look the best on me, but I just like how it looks. It's such a ballerina pink. And I decided, I again was craving cables, so I found a vintage pattern which has, I think it has a center cable. You start the center cable, then after a while you add a cable on the sides, and then after a while you add more cables, so it's this steppy. On the yoke you have all the cables, but they're like flowing down in a round way. It's not a round yoke, it is a bottom up, but yeah. It doesn't have ribbing since it's part of a dress, and in the pattern you just do start with stockinette stitch because you're sewing it to the skirt in the end, but I'm not doing a dress. I just want a top part. So I decided to try twisted rib for the first time. Basically, like a full twisted rib. I never really done that before at a pattern. I think it wasn't that much of a thing in vintage patterns, and I just didn't came across it in the modern ones I did. So I just wanted to try it out, and these are... So I made the smart decision to try out full twisted, every stitch, twisted rib on 2.25 millimeter, which is US size 1, in a cotton yarn, which has no stretch, which is the slowest knit ever, because you just knit it in slow-mo to not hurt my wrists. Like, I knit it in slow motion to not hurt my wrists. It's very mindful, very demure. Yeah, but it looks amazing. Like, that's the worst part. It just looks so good. Oh, I also decided to do like a split hem kind of thingy. So it's in pieces. I did 10 rows on this one, and the cast on, so that's maybe 12 rows. And then here I also want to do 12 rows, and then I reassess if I want to do more of the twisted rib, but it does look very nice. Unfortunately, it does look very nice, which is like, that's a problem. That's like, I wish it would look not as good, because yeah, that sucks. I mean, it's great that it looks good, but also like, oh my fucking god, why? Why? On 2.25. What a great idea. But I still have, I think I made 7 rows on the shorter one, so 3 more rows, and then it's gonna be on waiting mode, because I plan to do the body to get the right gauge and fit and size on 2.5 millimeter, which also a great idea. But yeah, here we are. But that's the plan, to do that on 2.5. But I have another project in mind, which I'll show you in a second, that will need these 2.5 to do the ribbing. So it would be smarter to do the ribbing for that one first, and then they can live forever on this project, the needles. Because I don't think that the ribbing will take that long. For the other one, I leave it on the table for now. Also, this was a whim of the moment cast on, because another day of heat wave. It's 1 week super hot, then 1 week almost autumn, then 1 week we are in the sun, then 1 week. It's very flip-floppy, and I really am not good with supporting heat. So yeah, it's very overstimulating. So I cast on something to ruin myself. So that's why we have a lot of cast-ons. I blame the weather. So it's gonna stay on the table for now to finish the last 3 rows of the twisted rib. And then it's gonna chill there probably until I finish the ribbing for the other one. And then it can come back here. That's the vibe. So yeah, it's gonna live here on the table for now. That's the plan for it for now. Then, so the darkest pink is over there. I showed you that with the lace panel. The lightest pink is over here with the twisted rib. I have still the second lightest. It does not have a project at the moment. So that might end actually up to be the swatch I wanted to do for it. Maybe, but the second darkest is my current. I'm knitting the most on it at the moment. I cast it on a few days ago. during the last heat wave. So you can really see 1 week heat, another week heat, another week heat. So at the moment I cast on like every 10 days something else. And that's okay. Whatever you gotta do to get through it. So this is the bag. So the neck is a little high. This is the bag. It has half twisted rib. And because the pearls are not twisted, it's really making it very open. And I really like it. And then we have the lacy panel. It is designed for sports weight and a 3.5 millimeter needle. And I'm, as always, ignoring that and just doing whatever I want to do. So I'm using fingering weight and 3 millimeter needles. But surprisingly, the gauge is measured on the lace panel and I'm medium gauge. And it has a lot of positive ease, so it will not be a problem, I think. I still have a little more, and then we're at the armhole split, which, and we're picking up for the front, doing the shoulders, and then we're end around. But it is very nice. I really like it. So this is my easy going. The lace is also really not complicated. I'm looking at the pattern to know what I need to do, but it's not like I'm constantly need to watch it. It's a free pattern and it's so pretty. This is how much I have from the 2 balls I unraveled, or I cut the colors into separate colors. So the bright pink one got until here with the 2 skeins cut. I think this one, since it's wider, has more positive ease, I really will need the 4 to 5. So I will need to cut the one with still intact and unravel the moby sweater at some point. But I'm not fully mentally there yet that I want to do that, and I still have this much. So I can still go on and then see how I feel about it. Because since I'm changing my mind on a regular basis, nobody is safe and can be unraveled at any time, I do not want to commit that much that I'm cutting all the yarn and unraveling the moby sweater yet. We'll cross that bridge when we get there. But so far at the moment, I'm like, yeah, this is gonna get finished. So this is definitely staying here. This is I'm watching YouTube videos or watching TV and knitting this. Like, it does not need a lot of brain power, which is nice. And I did not expect that from how the lace looks. Then last one, finally. For the last one, I have swatches and I bought yarn and I have a sketch again. Yay! So this one is the only one I bought yarn with that pattern in mind. Like, the rest is just, why is there a stitch marker lying here now? Where does that come from? That's great to find a loose stitch marker now here. So the last one is the only one, spoiler, where I bought yarn for it. And since I was waiting for the yarn to be delivered, and I did not want to lose my obsession with it, so I wouldn't be already thinking about something else in the waiting time for the yarn to arrive, I did some drawing, some sketching to like bridge the waiting time. So this is sketch of the sweater. It is a free pattern from Drops Retro. It's a pattern from 1989. It's like an 80s and 90s oversized sweater with roses and color work. The background color looks like denim. So it is fugly. It is ugly, but also great. It is amazing. It is a vintage, retro Drops knitting pattern from the 80s. So I did a sketch of the pullover, and then I did the same medieval Germany writing, which almost nobody can read. Then the yarn colors I plan to use. One was out of stock, so we have another one for that. Holst gone super soft. It's a decay to worsted weight sweater, and I plan to hold it double. I mean, I made 2 swatches. Also made a little sketch of diagram how the measurement will be for my size. Wrote out the pattern instructions so I just can tick it off. I wrote it down how they wrote it, and there's no cast on specification, there's no increase specification, just a lot of it is missing. It's just cast on increase, just do it. And then I also drew the color work chart in colors, because if it's all black and white and it's just, that's the one with the cross and that's the one with the dot, and like it all looks kind of mushy and the same. So I think it looks way better in color, also to visualize, because I wasn't sure, do I want the flower to be the dark pink with red contrast, how they intended, or do I want to switch it and have it a red rose with some dark pink highlight? Then on the bottom, I'm writing my notes, and there will also be my notes. So yeah, again, going a little overboard, but yeah. So I did the swatch with the super soft held double. What the green comes away is more prominent, I think, on camera than in real. It kind of melts a little bit, like a low contrasty in the background, but it also depends on the light. Oh wow, I'm very sorry about that. I'm using my old phone, so if the light is differently and stuff, I'm very sorry, but we're trying to get to the end now. So this is the whole super soft held double. The green is lower contrast than I'd wish for. It's kind of low contrasty, but it's also fine. It depends on the light. In the evening, it's low contrast. If you're in bright daylight, it's fine. So the red really pops, like more than the rest. So the green and the dark pink is kind of the same low contrast vibe, and then the red really pops. Don't mind how bad the color work is done, because it will be done in the round and then steeked, but I did it flat here. I just did the color work to check if, because the yarn is held double and it's 100% wool, how warm it would be. So I did some color work to have the floats, so I could assess if that's too much. But I think it will be fine since it's a winter sweater. But I also made a held single swatch, the full color work pattern, where you have the red contrast color to see how it would look, and if I would prefer the rose to be in main red or main pink. And I think it's fine in pink, how it is intended. It floats. And I think for autumn or early spring, I would use it held single. But if I want a full winter oversized 80s sweater, I think the held double just is more the vibe because of the bigger stitches. The held single is more like delicate and this more vintage pattern, rosy. It gives more 40s and 50s and not 80s. And this would be nice to have like, they did a lot of short sleeve wool sweaters. They called them still sweaters. And then you had like a matching cardigan. So I feel like this is the vibe for that, which is fine and looks nice and cute. And maybe I'll do at a certain point, but this I want the 80s and 90s big bold roses is kind of ugly. It's kind of great with the almost dolman like bat sleeves. Like it's a different vibe. So I think we're gonna do the held double and it's gonna be a winter sweater. I'm a little between stitch gauge. The pattern wants 20 stitches per 10 centimeters, 4 inches. This one I have 18 or 16, so I'm matching the stitch gauge of the yarn, but not of the pattern. So it would be definitely less oversized, which I could just go up a size to get it more oversized, but I'm also not sure I wanted to have another 3mm project when I already have so many on small needles. That's why I seeked out this pattern basically, because I wanted to have something on a little bigger needles and have like more the DK weight and not the, oh my god, these are the tiniest needle and it's gonna take forever. And something oversized, something cool, something, you know, a different vibe. So this is then on 4mm, the held double. They're asking for a DK almost worsted weight. The whole supersoft held double is like a DK weight. Then on 4mm, which is also the recommended needle size from the yarn. And I think it's very nice. I don't think I would want to size down, firstly because I want to knit on this needle size. That's the point of this pattern, to have bigger needles. Also, I think it would not necessarily benefit the stitches. I could go up, but I wouldn't want to go down. I think the stitches are nice how they are. But here, which super surprised me, the ribbing, that's why I also did some ribbing in the swatches, because I was very, not confused, but like surprised, maybe a little confused. The ribbing is done on 2.5mm. I'm used to that the ribbing needle size is smaller than the main body, but for main body 4mm, I would have expected maybe 3.5, 3.25, maximum 3mm. But at 2.5, that's very small needles to knit in a DK weight. So I was like, that's gonna feel like super tight and be super uncomfortable to knit. But so I tried it for the swatch and it's actually fine. It's fine. It was no struggle to knit it, and it looks like a normal ribbing. It doesn't look like super tight and super bulky. There are also some increases right after the ribbing, which I did the same ratio of increases just to see how much it would grow, to have an idea of the shape of the garment better. So I think I'm just gonna follow the instructions and do the ribbing in 2.5mm on DK weight. That's the one where I want to do the ribbing first before I use the needles for this project, for the body. I am a little bit in between stitch gauges. One stranded I have like 16 or 18 stitches, and here I have 20 and a half, 21 stitches per 10 centimeters, or 19. No, here I have more. Here I have less. This one is too small. This one is too big. I confuse myself now. I need 20 stitches, which is kind of in between both. So I'm gonna do some math and look how the pattern repeat is, if I maybe can delete a stitch here and there or a full repeat to see if I can make it a little bit smaller, because I'm doing the smaller size anyway, so I cannot just knit a smaller size and have the same dimensions. I need to create that smaller size. There are only 3 sizes, small, medium, and large. So yeah, I need to do a little bit of math to figure it out, but I don't think I want to do that today. So it's a little bit on waiting mode until I do that. Also, it's been hot again these days, so I'm gonna wait for the next a little bit cooler period until I can properly assess also the warmth of these two, because at the moment they both feel warm, they both feel like too much. So yeah, I'm gonna wait a few days until it's again like 18 degree instead of 34, which is can we just be a little more stable? It's not helping me staying stable. But yeah, I'm gonna wait a few days, then reassess how the warmth is of both to see like, but I think we're gonna go for the double, how it's intended, because I like the look of that better. And then I'm gonna do some math to figure it out. So that's definitely gonna stay here on the table. So at the moment working on projects are, I'm definitely not a monogamous knitter, in case you haven't noticed. But what I'm seeing from most people that have multiple projects, it's more like divided into garment types. So they have like a sock project going on, and at the same time a sweater project, and maybe a hat or a scarf. So they have like not all the same garment type. My approach is more, I want different needle sizes. Like they're all sweaters or t-shirts or tops, like all top stuff. It's all the same garment type, but they are very different needle sizes and produce very different fabrics. So that's more where my division goes. So the staying on the table at the moment, the active work in projects are the decay weight sweater, which will be on 4mm needles, the lacy type light fingering summer top, which is on 3.75mm needles. So that's a very different vibe of knitting. Then we have the lacy top on the cotton. The decay is 100% wool. The lacy type is 45% cotton and 55% wool. So it's also different fabric compositions. This one is cotton acrylic mix, but it feels cotton. From the knitting experience, it's cotton. On 3mm, the decay sweater on 4mm, these are also metal needles. The 3.75 lace type is also metal needles. The cotton lacy one is on 3mm, and these are wooden needles, which it's the first time I'm trying them. These are the symphony ones. It's very smooth wood, like I really like them. And then we have the super tiny cotton smallest needle on 2.25 at the moment, which will go up to 2.5. These are bamboo needles. So we have a different range of yarn thickness, yarn composition, needle sizes, and needle materials that are currently on my work in progress. Also, we have stockinette and color work. We have a little lace in the middle, but basically it's stockinette with some rib here and there, but nothing extreme. So this one is a pretty mindless knit. Well, beside of that, you have to keep track of which row you're at to do the broken rib. This one is also pretty mindless as long as you're in the stockinette section, and then you have to do the color work, which will not be as mindless anymore. The lace is surprisingly mindless knitting. I mean, I have to have the chart open, but I do not need that much brain power for it. So we have color work, stockinette, lace, and cables. So I think that's a very balance. We have everything. We have thick yarn, thin yarn, super thin yarn, bamboo, metal, wood, color work, lace, cable, stockinette, everything. But these are like now 4 projects. I think 4 projects active, more or less. It depends on the day. It's not that I'm working on all projects in one day and just doing like one row here and then one row there. Sometimes that's the mood, but usually it's not. Usually it's it's a rotation, but they're all still being in the rotation. So that's my work in progress at the moment. So thanks for being here with me today. I hope you enjoyed it. If you have some input, some thoughts, I don't know, let me know. Yeah, I will make some food now. What are you eating today? What will I eat today? I don't know yet. Let me figure it out. Until next time, bye-bye. Next time hopefully will not be so unorganized and so much, since I can just give an update on what's new and what's not new and what happened. The introduction podcast is always a little bit like, where do I start? Especially since I have a million whips. So yeah, it's a little chaotic energy. Maybe next time it won't. Maybe it will. We'll see. Gotta come back to find out. Bye-bye. Stop talking!